Are you an employer that finds the hours you are paying staff are more than you scheduled? If you're losing payroll dollars because employees are clocking in 5, 10, or 15 minutes early and you aren't sure how to deal with it, tune in to this episode to hear what you can do to take corrective action and save your bottom line.
Welcome to Biz Help For You, the show that saves you the expensive learning curve by providing advice from industry experts in every facet of the entrepreneurial journey. Too many small businesses collapse. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, 20% fail within their first year, and less than 35% make it to their 10th anniversary. The goal of this podcast is to change that statistic. So if you're interested in learning more to be a successful entrepreneur, tune in today.
Welcome to this quick tip episode of Biz Help For You. I'm Candy Messer, and in 10 minutes or less, I tackle one business question to help you make smarter decisions because I want to see you succeed and truly enjoy running your business. Today, I'm talking about a problem that's easy to overlook but expensive to ignore: how to prevent early clock-ins. The first step is handling this problem is having the right system. Not all timekeeping platforms are created equal. Some will let employees clock in whenever they want, even if it's a half hour before their shift. You want to use software that lets you set rules that block early clock-ins or limit them to a few minutes before the scheduled start. If your current system doesn't support that option, it might be time to shop around. Because when you add up the lost dollars for overpaid labor, the upgrade pays for itself pretty quickly. Updating your timekeeping system is one solution. However, the technology you use is only part of what you can do to handle this problem. The other is communication. Sometimes employees clock in early just because they think it's what they're supposed to do. They show up, they scan in, they wait for work to start. There's no bad intent. It could just be a habit. It's on you to set the expectation and be clear about what you want. Let your team know that clocking in before their scheduled time is not allowed. Make clear guidelines that this is the rule unless there's been something approved in advance to allow otherwise. For instance, if your employees need to be at a cash register by a specific time, they will need to clock in a few minutes early to be able to put their things away and be ready to work at the start of their shift. But this is usually only a few minutes that is necessary. Another thing to ensure clocking in early doesn't continue is to put your policies in writing. Verbal reminders are helpful, but policies that aren't documented are easy to forget and even easier to challenge. Update your timekeeping policy to clearly state when employees are allowed to clock in, and make sure that it is stated in your employee handbook if you have one. You can even go a step further and bring it into your onboarding process. New hires should hear your expectations on day one. For existing staff, these are conversations that should be reintroduced during policy refreshes or staff meetings. When expectations are clear, there's no confusion, no excuses, and enforcement becomes a lot smoother. When it comes to enforcement, you have to do it. Policy without follow-through doesn't work. If one employee gets away with clocking in early, other staff will want to do so as well, or feel you're playing favorites. Be sure all policies are enforced fairly across the board. If you notice an issue, start with reminders, one-on-one conversations. But if it becomes a pattern, you'll need to document it. Some examples might be a formal warning, a conversation with human resources, or going over their timesheets with them. Whatever your process is, stick to it. What matters most is that you're consistent. In some cases, if the problem keeps occurring, or if early arrivals are causing issues on the floor, in the back room, or at the front desk, you may need to take it a step further. Depending on your setup, you might want to implement physical access controls. Think key cards, ID badges, time-locked doors, or anything that physically prevents someone from entering the workspace before their scheduled shift. That way, they can't clock in early, work off the clock, or be around the office unsupervised. This kind of system isn't for everyone. If you run a small shop with 5 employees, it might be more than you need. But if your business runs multiple shifts, stays open around the clock, or deals with a lot of foot traffic, this could solve several problems at once. You're not only preventing early punches, but you're also cutting down on unauthorized overtime while improving site security by controlling who's in the building and when. This solution does come with an upfront cost, but for the right business, it pays off quickly. Lastly, you'll want to keep an eye on the data. Run your time reports regularly and monitor for patterns. Weekly or bi-weekly reviews would be recommended. Note which employees are consistently clocking in early and identify if it's happening more frequently on specific shifts or days. Spotting these trends early gives you a clear advantage. The sooner you catch a problem, the easier it is to correct it before it becomes routine or starts spreading across the team. Once you've established what needs to be done and have a solution for what you need to implement, make sure you review it, follow up, and continue to openly communicate to ensure the results you want are achieved. Overall, preventing early clock-ins is about being intentional. Protect your labor budget, set fair boundaries and expectations, and don't leave things to chance. Small issues like clocking in early can leave a big impact, so it's important to stay ahead of it and have clear intentions when setting your policies in place surrounding the subject. Thanks for tuning in to this quick tip episode of Biz Help For You. I hope it gave you fresh insight into figuring out how to handle early clock-ins. If you have a question you'd love to hear covered, send me a message at media@abandp.com. If you find this topic helpful, would you leave a review and share it with others? And if you'd like to financially support the show, a link is in the show notes. Until next time, have a fabulous day.
Thank you for listening to Biz Help For You. Please join your host, Candy Messer, again next time. Have a terrific day.